Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Now that trailer was absolutely fantastic, would you not all agree? And welcome to Armored Brigade. So, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and cannot lie, I am excited about this. Now that trailer was absolutely fantastic, would you not all agree? And welcome myself there. Apologies about that. That was a little bit awkward. So, how are you guys doing? You all excited? Because I definitely am here. So, right then, let's get right into this then, shall we? Now, the actual Armored Brigade artwork, I've got to say, is absolutely fantastic. I'm sure you guys would agree about this. Now, what I'd like to show off first and foremost is the fact of the single missions that are available in the game at the moment. Now, do bear in mind this is a incomplete build. There's still plenty of change to be carried out here, and much will be different, but this is superb. I've got to say, and this is without being paid, this product is, in my opinion, one of the best war games I've actually played. Now, if we take a look over here, we have different scenarios. It's a bit like a tutorial almost. But we are not going to be looking at that today. We are going to be generating our own mission. As frankly, this system is superb of how you actually create your own missions. It's beautiful. Now, for example, we do have a few maps in the game at the moment. Now, do bear in mind that we do have a sector over here, which is incredible. Like, for example, if you've ever played in the combat mission games, you would be like, thinking, you know what, these maps are pretty good, but it would be very nice to actually create my own map. And we do actually have that option within Armored Brigade, which is honestly pretty amazing. So if we take a look over here, we can actually dictate the size of the map, which is actually incredible. Now then, what we're going to be taking a look here today then is, in honour of the developers, is Southeast Finland, where we will be taking ahead, we will definitely be taking on the Finnish army here as the Soviets. The reason being, I absolutely adore the Mi-24P. I think it looks absolutely astounding. But just look at this. So, for example, if I was to set it at maximum, look at the size of this map. You can picture the sheer amount of numbers that you could fit on a map like this. It's superb. Now, do bear in mind that all of these terrain features actually do play a relevant role within the map. It is actually superb. Let's set up a decent sized battle then, shall we? Now what I'm thinking about is the city over here. The reason for that is it's going to show off a great element and a great mixture within the game. So let's say here will take place over the city. Now that we can see we have a river over here, we have the actual city itself, we have a number of forested areas. Now these rivers are fordable, they can be crossed by amphibious units. There's also going to be fords around here as well, which we are going to try to make the most use of. So, let's get into this then, shall we? Now, today, we will be playing as the USSR. There are a few factions available at the moment. We have the USSR, we have Finland, the Federal Republic of Germany, the German Democratic Republic, the British Army, and the US Army. Further factions will be added in the future, rest assured. But this is what we have available at this moment in time, and trust me, these are some pretty tough opponents. So we will be fighting against the Finnish today. Let's take a look then. Now, what I want to show you here is, do note the training and morale. This actually does play a very relevant factor within the game. Now, what I want to show you as well is the year here. I can actually adjust this year, and this does actually change the equipment that is available. It also does change the level of training that is available, as well as morale. So see here in the early 1980s, we actually do have a higher amount of morale, which is rather intriguing. Notice the Finnish morale and training may increase or decrease with time as well. So we are going to play around 1983. This is when the Cold War gets hot. Right then, so you can see here our command delay. Now the command delay is going to be really quite a relevant factor. What you have to bear in mind is that much of these commanders, had this Cold War actually gone hot, is they would have been there mostly with radios and maps. There would have been no overarching view of the battlefield. There would have been no God's eye view of the battlefield. Communication had to be, well, communicated through radios. And units do take time to react. They do take time to actually really understand what their commander is asking of them and using their own initiative. Now, we will be playing as the USSR, and I will be playing as an armored division. Now, we will be facing up against a mechanized division to show some of the differences here. See the month, see the time of day. We can actually change the terrain, we can change the weather, the wind speed, ground conditions, day, temperature, destruction. Now what I'm going to do here is have 10% of the destruction enabled. So basically, you can imagine 1 in 10 buildings will be destroyed, a good amount of the forest and the trees will be destroyed around here. It'll be rather intriguing. We'll set the actual terrain to autumn. Gives a nice mix. Ground conditions will be fair, not perfect, but fair. Okay, here we go. So you can see here, it's honestly rather impressive. We do have 3 different types of missions at the moment. So we have the defense, we have advance, which is basically offensive, and the meet and engagement. Now, honestly, I do find this rather intriguing. How the system works is basically, we have our objectives here at the moment. So I can dictate how many objectives there are. I can increase or decrease that. Now, how this is going to work is, for example, in a meet and engagement, the objectives are set towards the center of the map. Some are closer to the enemy, some are closer to your own forces, but basically the objective here is to try and encourage a run-in battle between the 2 forces. If I was to have a defense, you'd see obviously they'd be over here, and advance, they would be over here. Now, how this works is that 25% of the objectives are going to be dummies, and what this means is, for example, and to be honest, I think it's rather an intriguing system. So, for example, we have a town over here. In games such as Company of Heroes, for example, you would have an objective like over here, let's say Sector A, Sector B, Sector C. These objectives would be static, they don't move. However, within Armoured Brigade, the objectives are not quite real all the time. So, for example, we may have an objective over here, which is only shown to the AI. We have an objective over here, which is only shown to the player. Now, the real objective may be down here in the middle, but what this is trying to do is encourage the player and the AI to move in different ways. So it does encourage quite dynamic play, which is something that is really quite fantastic. Let's take a look. We are going to start in the east, as we are the Soviets. We will be playing against the Finnish. We're going to say that basically we have launched a preemptive strike. We have launched a invasion with very little warning against Finland. We are racing to establish our positions here. We are racing to capture these towns. We are racing to actually take Finland out of NATO, to remove them from play. We can see here we have the amount of victory points. It's something like a ticket system. If you've ever played a Battlefield game, you can understand how this works quite easily. So, for example, each unit destroyed does take away tickets from the opposing team. Capturing objectives does take away tickets, and eventually you will be there to win. You can see here the player objectives, the opponent objectives, Urban Hills Road. Our objectives are open roads. I can change this to Urban Hills and Roads. I can change this to urban enclosed. But what we will do then is we will go for... I'd like to have a mix of urban hills and roads, which is a nice thing. It's nice to be able to do this. So here we go. You can see the water is varied. I can make this impassable. I can make the water frozen. But I'll have fordable over here. But then again, varied could be quite interesting. Have a nice mix over there. Now we can scale the UI. That is part of the options. But this works for me, so I hope you guys do enjoy this. Okay, now, this part is the part I really do enjoy. If you ever have played a combat mission game, you can understand that you do have the ability to actually select and somewhat design your combat force. We do have this option within Armoured Brigade as well, which is superb. And for example, we have over here the force type Armoured. Now, this is pretty much advisory. How this works is, for example, we had the option of Armoured, Infantry, and Mechanized. The fourth option being Dynamic. Now, Dynamic means that basically you can set your own parameters. You can tweak them. It's very easily done. But it gives you a good idea of what you're going to be having. And if we take a look over here, if I take a look at Advanced. Now notice that we do have a limit to 200%. How this works, for example, is I can reduce the amount of armor. I could increase the amount of points I could spend on reconnaissance assets. Which is actually quite intriguing. And to be honest, I do like to have a larger reconnaissance availability, so I will leave this as this is. And you can see this works with the AI as well. Obviously, this will change in the future. And perhaps we may have multiplayer. I do not know about that, but that's what I'd like to see. There we go. So, now we move on. So we can see here the combat power. Now, combat power basically represents the points of which players can use to actually purchase units, as you are basically purchasing combat formations to use within the battle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate a... we'll say that we are a vanguard, an armoured vanguard. What I'm going to do is actually increase the amount of force that the Finnish will have. We'll play with about 6,000 points. I think I'll give the Finns about 7,200. Perhaps a little bit more, 7,500 points. Now, we are going to be somewhat outnumbered, or even outclassed, but we are going to be the vanguard of the People's Army. The Red Army will advance and will take Finland. So we have to bring that about. And notice the fact that we do have an increased reconnaissance category now. So we have 900 points to spend over here. 600, 2,400, 5,399, 900, 1,800. All of this comes together to equal 6,000 points. So this is actually rather intriguing. You do have a lot of options. And we do have the option of purchasing artillery over here. Now, each faction may have, obviously, guns, but some factions, such as the USSR or the GDR, may have a chance of actually having rocket artillery. Now, how that works is when you call in a fire mission, the fire mission may be actually carried out by rocket artillery. What this actually means is that the shell strikes, the actual, the bombardment, will be more rapid. And it actually will have quite the effect here. Okay, so what we're going to take a look at then is, as you can see here, we have the point cost. We can also see their radio strength is what I'd like to call this. So obviously different units have different levels of strength. So for example, I could have T-55A MBTs, and they would actually perform quite well in the reconnaissance role. Now what we have to bear in mind is, these are tanks, these aren't infantry. They are rather large, and they're not easily hidden. Whereas a dismounted scout team, a dismounted scout section would actually be quite good at hiding. So this is something that we have to balance here. So let's take a look at what we have available. I could even have 2 T-80 MBTs on reconnaissance. That's a pretty heavy investment. So what we're going to favour here is we're going to favour, let's see, a few scout teams, dismounted scout teams. Now these are very cheap, as you can see here, only 45 points each. I'm going to have a couple scout sections. Then I think what I would like to do is perhaps have something possibly armed with ATGMs. Now notice we do have the BMD-1P, which is armed with ATGMs, these spigots. What I'd like to do is perhaps we'll take a look at something with a little bit more. Now this does have a large machine gun, but I'm looking towards a cannon more than anything. And you are armed with a 76mm gun there. Speed is something that we do have to take in consideration. Also, do note the armor there. So, you see there 40mm KE, and then we also have 40mm CE. The KE stands for kinetic energy, the CE stands for chemical energy. Now, for example, different weapons have different values. So, for example, let's say the BRDM2 is to be hit by a M1 Abrams cannon. Now, that shell will have a certain amount of kinetic energy. You can imagine 40mm isn't going to take a lot of kinetic energy. But then let's just say, for example, that a flamethrower unit is actually attacking the BRDM section. The chemical protection of the armor may fail with a flamethrower. Depends on how powerful it is. So that is actually quite nice. It's nice to have that. Fires can be very effective. We do have to bear that in mind. Now, I think what we're going to do here then is we may need some heavier reconnaissance. Though, I think having that speed is actually quite a good thing. We have to remember that we are going to have to try and establish our position within the city. So having some high speed, high firepower would be very nice. What I'm going to use in this role then is, let's see. We do have ATGMs over here. We do have the 73mm gun as well as the coaxial 7.62. But the armor is 45mm, 35mm. I think we're going to go with some heavier armor. We'll take the BMP2 IFVs along with the 2 scout teams here. We're going to pick up 2 of those sections. We'll have a couple of these available. Now we move on. Notice we still have 298 points over here. We've spent 2,402. Well, that's what we have available. And we'll take a look over here then. So I can actually go for some infantry companies. The command teams are very, very important. Basically, how head queues function within the game is they can actually help improve the morale of the units nearby. They obviously help out with spotting. They can act as spotters for artillery. And also they do improve the command delay. I think what we'll do then is we'll pick up probably a... I don't know if I need the infantry. We're going to stay away from the infantry for the time being. Right, we do have the airborne company. Notice that we do have different levels of formations. We have platoons, we have companies, we obviously have the individual headquarters. Mechanized infantry platoon would actually obviously be quite nice. I think what we're going to favour here... Oh, trust me, the reconnaissance teams should ideally survive a decent amount of time. Ideally. Now, what I'm thinking here is with these BR-70s, is they do have a pretty impressive top speed there, about 79 kilometers per hour. Do we need armored, or do we want to be spending the actual points here on the actual MBTs? I'd probably favour the MBTs. I want these guys to actually get to the front line and deploy our infantry. Take a look over here. The mechanized infantry, you can see here their assault rifles, LMG, 40mm grenade launchers, hand grenades, RPG-7s, and RPG-22. So these are quite formidable troops. I think what we'll do then is we'll pick up a mechanized... Let's see. I'll pick up 2 mechanized infantry platoons. We can see here, spent our points. I'll take the BMP 1P headquarters. Take 2 of those. What is the fanciest BMP in the game? Oh dear. Well, let's take a look then. We do have the BTR-70, which isn't the fanciest. We have the BTR-60. BMP-2, probably one of the best things that we have available in this section. Okay, now the most important section here. The one where we could definitely spend a lot of points. And this would be on our armor. Now what we have to bear in mind here is we really do need something with a lot of oomph here. Now we do have the T80 MBTs. Now notice we do gain a heck of a lot of T80 MBTs here. These are very formidable. What I'd like to do, however, is I'm going to actually purchase... Let's see, so in platoon we do only gain 3. Do we want to be using T80s? These are rather expensive tanks. I think what we'll do is we'll take a platoon. Now notice we are starting to run out of points here. So we do have to consider is dropping some forces to move something else in there. Such as... I don't know, like say artillery, air support, that sort of thing. Okay. Now we do have the option of earlier tanks and somewhat weaker tanks, which is a good possibility, but we do have to bear in mind that they very well may be wiped out, due to the fact that they're simply not as good. What I'm going to do here is actually remove this headquarters. We'll still have 1, but that does save me some points here. I think we'll have some T80s, about 3 T80s here. I could run them with the headquarters, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do then is I'm actually going to take a look at the T64 platoon. Now the company isn't that expensive, and notice here the armor is quite effective. So 440mm of kinetic energy protection, 550mm of chemical energy. We compare that to the T80s. It's not that much of a difference. The gunbow is probably the big difference here. What would be nice? Do we have any MBTs armed with ATGMs? That would be very good if we had something like that. I know the Soviets did like to employ weapons of such nature. I'm not seeing any, but this is fine. Okay, so we have 1,254 points here. There's not a big difference between the T-72 and the T-64s. That's not a bad idea to actually combining tanks with similar speed. We have 70 kilometers per hour. Let's see, T-64B. We do have the T-64B tank platoon here. Now they aren't armed currently with the ATGMs. Whether this will be subject to the change in the future, I'm entirely unsure. Possibly a good question for the developers there. I think what we'll do then is perhaps for 60 kilometers per hour, the T-72s can achieve 59, which isn't very good. I could go a little bit crazy and go with the T-55s, but I don't think they'll be very good. But I think what we'll do then is we'll take a look at the T-60. Now perhaps we'll go with the T-72. Now a platoon of T-72s is 522 points. So I think what we'll do then is we'll take a company of T-72s. That does leave us a few points remaining over here. But I think what I'm going to do then is I'm going to drop one of the BMP sections. Yeah, I'm going to drop that. Now we do need to have obviously air support, and we obviously do need to have AA. AA is a big thing. Now there's actually a heck of a lot of variation. These things are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Now the range on these bad boys is incredible. It would be very nice, and see, look at this, we have flamethrower sections. These bad boys are going to be extremely useful. We have AGGM teams. We may perhaps have the T-64s with the ATGMs over here. We'll have to find them, see if we can actually bring that out. We do have heavy mortars, and that is a heavy mortar, 120mm. God damn. Okay. Now notice that we do have the heavy machine gun teams. They definitely do come in handy. RPG sections. I think what we're going to favour, though, is flamethrowers. We'll throw in some flamethrowers over here. I reckon they could be very handy clear out the town. We do have ATGM carriers. We have sections carrying ATGMs. What we would like to have, though, is actually some air cover. I think we'll favour a mix between the self-propelled AA, Pro 2 sections and there. Now, that does not leave us much over here. Yes, I imagine the Pyro is going to be amazing. It's going to be very effective within the town. Now, see, we do have some air support available. I don't only have the MiG-21s. So I think what we need to do then is we need to find a way to actually trim some fat off over here. And let's see. I am going to need my mechanized infantry, but I reckon some helicopters would be very handy. You can see here, these T-80s are very expensive. So I think what we may do then is we might actually drop off a section of flamethrowers. That does leave us some more points available. We would have access to Mi-24Ds. Now these bad boys are carrying the 57mm rockets. They are carrying 4 ATGMs. Well, they are carrying ATGMs, sorry. And the 12.7mm Yak-B Gatling. We do have different options available here. I think what we may need... Now, see, we also do have these scout choppers available, which is very nice. What would you guys favour? Should we drop some infantry? Or should we go for, perhaps, more helicopters? See, you need a lot of infantry in Finland for protection, half the forces at least. That's a good point, actually. Okay, what we'll do then is, I'm actually going to drop this BIMP scout section. And I will pick up another... I could actually pick up the infantry company. It's a good question. Okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to pick up the infantry company instead. Now that does give us access to a lot of infantry that we can actually deploy into the city quite nicely. But I think air support is definitely going to be quite handy. I do have the option of artillery. But I do favour the gunships. I think they could be very effective. I do have some self-propelled AA, and I do imagine we are going to need quite a bit of this. I think they are going to be extremely important. But bear in mind that we only have AA cannons here, nothing in the way of missiles. That is something that we do have to consider, and it may very well be our downfall. I think what we'll do then is we'll perhaps throw in some... napalm! Now, that is extremely interesting. Right, cluster bombs, they would be very effective against armor. Iron bombs, so these are basically conventional bombs. I think what we'll do then is we'll pick up some Mi-24s. Let's see, do we have any points available here? We are pretty close to the limit, practically nothing. Drop the AA. Finland does not have any aircraft? Good possibility. Okay, what we'll do then is we'll drop the self-propelled AA. We do have to bear in mind there may be infantry. Sorry, there may be aircraft. They will have something available, just in case. See, we have iron bombs over here. Let's see. In fairness, I might actually drop this AA section. We may look for something cheaper. We do have to worry about helicopters after all. We have the BRDM-280 ATGM carriers. SAM section. That's fairly effective. Manpower AA section. Okay, but what we'll do then is these guys will have ideally longer range. And then again, you know what? I don't think we should drop two. Okay, I'm going to buy a self-propelled SAM section. Not two of them, just the one. I think what we'll do then is we'll actually drop the Mi-24. Have something cheaper. Yeah, flamethrowers. So what we'll do then is we'll drop the flamethrowers, considering they have very weak armor. And I'll go to the air section. And what I'll do is I'll actually pick up some napalm capabilities. Ooh, we have the Su-25. Look at that bad boy. Okay. Looking for the napalm. Right, here we go. We'll take some napalm. I do have some iron bombs available here. I could actually grab some scout section helicopters. Not a bad idea. I think we'll grab some scout helicopters as well. We are going to be taking some, well, we are going to be taking some artillery. And that's actually a good point here. You take a look at the amount of HE shells, smoke shells. DPI-CM, so these are dual purpose. Illumination shells. This is some amazing amount of artillery. And I think it's going to be probably worthwhile. I think so. And HE could be quite effective. Indeed. Needed as a 80s soundtrack. Okay, so I think with that, we're probably good to go. Unless we can find something fairly cheap. Actually, which we can. Oh, bugger it, I'm going to grab some of these bad boys then. Though, I think the dismounted scout section, perhaps. Tough question. Tough question. Nothing else available. Okay. So let's review what forces we have available at the moment then. So we do have only 3 T-80 tanks. We do have a company of T-72As. We have 4 dismounted scout sections. I think what we might do here then is, let's see. Actually save. I could drop the headquarters. I'm going to actually drop the headquarters. And now what I'll do is, I could actually pick up another section of tanks. Potentially so. Okay, I'm going to drop the T-70, sorry, the T-80s. Let's see. It's only a platoon. I'm half tempted, you know, let's see, what's the difference between the T-80 and the T-72? We do have the high-powered gun, the armor difference, and the speed difference. Okay, I think what I will do then is I'm going to actually pick up another T-72A tank company. Sorry, platoon. Right, so that brings us up to not that powerful. Ooh, this is quite tempting. Right, mobile scouts, that is a good point actually. Right, what we'll do then is we'll stick with the T-80B platoon. What we'll do then is I'll actually drop some of the dismounted scout section. There we go. I'll drop some of those. And we'll take some mechanized scout sections. Yes, these could be quite effective. Okay. BMP-2s. Okay, so we have the ATGMs, we have the 30mm cannon. These are going to be quite effective, so we'll pick up that. Okay, superb. We do have another option here. I think I will pick up, let's see. Do we have anything else I can potentially afford? I could potentially afford some more scout choppers. I can. I'll pick up those MI2. Superb. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are ready to go. So we do have 4 air sorties, we have 9 formations, 43 units. We may be somewhat outnumbered, but what I'm intending here is we use the napalm to clear out the city. We use our reconnaissance to really spot things, and then obviously we use the T-80s, as well as the T-70s to ideally engage at a distance. So here we go. Right, we have meeting engagement. So we can see here we could have the option of player character. Now what this basically means is that we could have ourselves assigned as a actual unit within the game, and if that unit is destroyed, then the battle is over. It does actually produce quite interesting results. We're going to have always play enemy sounds. If this option is enabled, then all the battlefield sounds are always played, even if a sound source is not detected and identified. I think this will make the game a little bit more interesting. So here we could actually alter the training and morale of both forces. We can see the options. And we're going to go. You know, I absolutely do adore this art. Absolutely amazing. You can see here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us quickly through the actual battlefield. And so chiefly we start with this view. This is the view that we will be using most of all. But what I want to do is I want to actually take a look at these units. Now the game is not yet final, so a lot of this may improve over time, but I think it looks fantastic. What I like to actually take a look at, if we actually take a look at this information here, we actually get some really nice statistics, and these are some important pieces of information. For example, we have the actual size of the vehicle, we have the speed, we have the reverse speed, off-road, the actual range and effectiveness, penetration values at those ranges, armor. It's actually really quite nice. You can see how effective it is against chemical energy, kinetic energy. Okay, now what I want to show off here then is just look at the size of the map. This is the entire map. Obviously we have our section over here. What I want to show off then is the isometric view. Now, this view is honestly amazing. It really does bring an entirely new angle to the battlefield here. So for example, if I press this button here, basically the enhance button, the plus button I suppose you could call it, it enhances the actual terrain details. So for example, if I push this down, you can see obviously we do have hills here. If I use this, I can really see quite clearly. We can rotate the map and actually get a really, really nice view of the battlefield. And honestly, I think this is beautiful. I think this is an absolutely incredible way to see the battlefield. It actually does give you a genuinely good view of the battlefield. Definitely something quite nice. Obviously, we'll put this down back to normal. And so you can see here. Let's take a look. Now we are in the middle of what appears to be a larger hill over here, a hill here, a rise over here. We do have the city over here to the south, and over here. This is relatively open, so this is probably the most open terrain that we do have available to us. So we would be very smart to hatch, well then again this is quite open. And we do have cover over here. What we could do is actually advance our T-70s or our T-80s to actually cover this section here. But, go back to the map. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the heat map, sort of the height map. You can see here this shows us quite clearly the depressions and the rises within the map. You can see over here it's actually quite high, and the majority here is quite low. Now this is very, very low compared to this. You can see here we do have the town quite a bit higher, which is quite nice. There we go. We also do have another option. So we can actually view the map like this, as if it was actually a map, which is really quite nice. Lots of different details there. I like to see this view because obviously it gives a nice, a nice representation. Okay. We have artillery over here. We have our air support. You can see here that we have the availability to call in our napalm strikes already. I think what we'd like to do is probably wait until we have some kind of confirmation of what's going on over here. We do have a bridge over here, or at least a land bridge. Some aspects of the river are fordable, though I'm not entirely sure where. I'd imagine over here could be crossed, over here could be crossed. Ah, here's the actual bridge. So this is going to be the point at which we definitely have to try and control. So there's already at least 3 crossing points I can see. Over here, of course the bridge, and then probably over here. It wouldn't be too bad actually to establish ourselves here with the T-72s and the T-80s. Perhaps trying to control the bridge, this land bridge over here. Okay. Now, we have TRPs and we have builds. Now, for example, if we were the defender, we would have the option of potentially laying down minefields, anti-tank flyers, but we do not have those. So what we'll do over here then is we'll lay down our target reference points. Now, we do have 6 of these available. And how this basically functions is we have the target artillery reference points. And what I will do then, let's see. I'm going to lay down the first one over here. The second one, probably around here in the centre. Perhaps one over here. Again, that isn't covering 2. I'll lay one here. Perhaps another one down to the south. Probably a good idea to cover this area. Now we do have just the one remaining. I think we'll just cover it in the gap over here. Okay, so that does leave this open over here. Now, obviously, I could change this if I so wished. So what I will do is I'm going to move this one. So we'll put it a little bit further out. There we go. Place that about there. Okay. So we have our fire mission here. Obviously, see the amount of rounds that we have available. It might be a good idea to actually call in a fire mission from the very start of the game. And it wouldn't be too bad of an idea to actually target the bridge, wouldn't I? would say, probably. But then again, we do have the option here to fire smoke. It would be quite a decent idea to potentially smoke our advancer. Not a bad thing. Okay, the DPICM rounds are dual-purpose rounds. Indeed, Killzone will follow. Now we can actually alter the length and width of the actual target. So if I set the target over here, you can see, look at that, that's impressive. Now notice that came up saying no spotter. That's something that we do have to bear in mind. We have a spotter of the target area, we can actually call things in quite effectively. Fire my command over here, coordinates and A. Okay. I think what we'll do then is take our fire mission over here. Say, probably some smoke rounds isn't a bad idea. I'll go with some smoke rounds here. Lay down, use 2 of our 18 artillery pieces. Just the one volley. I think perhaps quite a large spread here. Actually, not too large, maybe about 210 meters. That should work quite nicely. Notice here that we do have the target reference points, where this basically gives the ability to call this in, which is actually really quite impressive. I think what I'd like to do then, perhaps, we have to bear in mind this approach is rather open, but I don't have a target reference point down here. I think what I'd like to do then is perhaps call in a smoke barrage over here. This would probably allow our tanks to advance unhindered over in this section. I am going to increase the, I'm going to decrease the width and increase the length. You can see here this is going to cover us quite nicely. I'm going to call that smoke mission in there, so they're going to be adjusting to deploy those rounds downrange. Okay, now what we have here is we have the actual deployment zones. So these deployment zones are for our regular units. These units are, well, so these deployment zones are for the reconnaissance assets. Okay. Apologies for getting a little bit tongue-tied here. I'm just really so excited. Now what I'd like to show off is the line of sight. So for example, we take a look over here, we can see the line of sight. We have line of sight to about, just around 1,200 meters this way. You can see, this is why I'm actually calling in the smoke rounds over here. I want this to be covered so we could potentially advance our armor down here on the flank. Okay. Turn that off. I think what we need to do then is we actually need to get ourselves established within the actual town itself. City itself. Notice this is the actual center of the city. We do have the different districts, potentially different villages. What we'll do then is we'll have you deploy over here. Now we can actually deploy within the town itself, which is actually quite nice, the city itself. Very, very handy. I think what we need to do is we need to try and establish ourselves in a commanding view of the crossing points. It isn't too difficult for us. How accurate are the artillery fires? Any variables to take into consideration? I believe wind can be a factor, as we did have the option to change that in the beginning. But I'm sure one of the the developers will be in touch to try and answer that question ideally. Okay, what I'm thinking here is, let's see, we'll deploy here in this actual building. Now, ideally we may have some decent line of sight from here, but we'll do a quick check. Okay, so notice with actual line of sight tool, you really do have a much better idea of where you are deploying your units. And it's really quite nice. So we'll change them from here. What do we have in terms of line of sight from this position? Okay, that does give us line of sight over here, gives us clear line of sight over this approach, which is not too bad. Ideally we'll move forward to this position. This is where we want to be. What I'll do then is I'll leave this unit in place here. I want to be able to cover as much of the actual city as I can. They can stay over here. Okay, so they can clearly see over here, which is very nice. Should alert us to any dangers over that way. Now this is where it becomes more difficult, as we do obviously need to move into the center of the city. So I'll deploy this section over here. Then what we'll do is we'll give them orders. So if I right click, I can actually give them pretty good orders. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have them move fast into the city. I want them to actually establish a good position. So I'd say over here would be a good position. Just give us some room to fall back. We'll have them run for that position over there. Okay, we have another section of dismounted scouts. I think we'll have them make a run for that, that building perhaps. Now we are somewhat distant from the centre here. We don't have an unlimited number of units to cover things. So we do need to try and go for what's best. The factions within the game are so far the USSR, we have the Americans, we have Finnish troops, we have the British Army, the German Democratic Republic, and German Federals within the game so far, which is really quite impressive. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll make a break for the actual centre. This large building over here is actually probably a nice, nice position. We'll get in place in there, and then we should probably be okay. Now we do have our section over here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them placed. Now we do have them operate as a formation, but I can select these units individually, and they can operate individually or as a team, as a formation. If I go here to orders, I can click reattach, and they'll operate together. I think what we'll do then is we'll change their orientation. Get them on the road, ideally. There we go. So click reattach. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them move pretty fast into the actual city itself. I think a good position here for us to try to take advantage of would be perhaps here. What I'll do is I'll take a look at the heat map. Sorry, the height map. I'm so used to saying height map. Sorry, heat map. I'm tired. This seems to be quite a position. Though it is heavily forested, so I don't know what our line of sight would be like. If I take a look at the isometric view. Okay. See, I don't have much line of sight on the bridge over here. I think what we might do then is deploy our mobile scouts down to this position down here. They could actually try to make a run towards the forest. They could actually practically deploy there. That's not a bad idea. Okay, we'll redeploy them down to the south. With waypoints. Okay. Have them deploy there. Let you separately. What I'll do then is, let's see. I'd like you to deploy your forces in here, and then the scout section can move to where these trees are. Ideally, they should be able to cover that. What I'm going to do with this other section is... Actually, you know what? Let's see. I'm going to have you move out pretty quickly. But instead, I'll deploy you down over here. Perhaps... Ooh, this building would be very nice to take control of. Okay. We'll have you move quickly to this building where they can then unload. Right, unload of that. You can unload over into this position. There we go. What size units are you commanding here? Motor Rifle Battalion. Well, we do have armoured units. We're commanding a company of T-80s. Sorry, a company of T-72s and a, well, a couple mechanized infantry platoons. We do have a tank platoon over here of T-80s, and these bad boys are very impressive. If we take a look at the actual map itself, let's say, for example, we were to have our units down here. The line of sight isn't actually fantastic. I think what we need to do is try and find a position where the line of sight is going to be quite commanding. No, it's not exactly great here. Which both works against us and for us. And we do have a good line of sight over here. It seems like it's going to come down to some pretty brutal urban fight in here. I think we need to choose one section where we're going to come in force. It wouldn't be a terrible idea for us to actually try to potentially flank the enemy forces over here. The mechanized could potentially cross here. I don't know if they have amphibious capabilities, but it would be very nice if they did so. I do believe they were capable of amphibious. Not entirely sure. Yeah, I'm not as actually familiar with Cold War systems as I am with systems of different eras. Yeah, more infantry, but we should be able to make up for that. We do have the ability to call in napalm strikes, which will deny a lot of the urban centres. I'm actually really considering, do we call in a napalm strike around here? Yeah. Main reason would be, let's say, for example, this is where the enemy is going to be deploying. This is actually much closer to the enemy than it is to myself. So I think what we will do then is, or do I wait and do we call it in the future? I could call in a second fire mission. I'm going to call in a second fire mission. What we're going to go is we're going to go with the HE round. What I'd like to do is I'd like to have a good couple guns on here. So let's say about 8 guns. I'm going to have, let's say, right, so this is going to fire off a lot of shots, isn't it? Right, 4 guns with 3 volleys. What I want to do is I want to try and deny this area for some time. Or do I try to deny this area? No, we'll try to deny this area. Okay, so I'm going to call this in over here. I should bring down some nice shells. I think what we'll do then is we'll advance with our... I think the mechanized to the north. Give the mechanized some good cover. We also do have our infantry company over here, so they can deploy... Ooh, where do we deploy them? They have to get a motor on, don't they? I think potentially around Objective 3, potentially Objective 1. I think Objective 3, yeah, Objective 2 as well needs... We'll have them over here. What I'll do then is I'm going to change their formation. So let's see, we could have a nice thick line there, we could have this, we could have a V formation, we could have a wedge formation. I think probably wedge formation isn't a bad idea actually. At least then if we are spotted, we are quite spread out, which is not a bad thing. And what we'll do then is we'll go for about fast. I want these guys to really move as fast as possible into the city. Yes, they definitely need to move into the city ASAP. Actually, I'm going to cancel that last order. I'll move them fast up to about this position, and then I think what I'll do is have them sort of move in here with the contact orders. So basically what they'll do is if an enemy is spotted, they'll try to engage. I think try to lock down the southern part of the city with our infantry, then perhaps use our artillery, perhaps use our cannon to lock down the main part of the city centre. Let's see. Yeah, I mean that is a really good point. Actually, making plans that will just go out the window pretty damn quickly. Currently there are no amphibious units in the game. Fair enough. There's the developer here. I imagine that will be added in time. Let's see. My mechanized are equipped with ATGMs. Definitely a handy thing. That does give some really nice versatility. It does give some armor killing potential as well. Okay. I think the ATGMs will be suited over here. We do have some nice cover. Obviously, we'll have a smoke deployed. I think I'll have my mechanized company deployed over here. Okay, so I'm going to keep them in this formation as it is right now, and I'm going to have them move fast across the plain here. I want them to move up to this position here, secure the houses on the riverbank, and that will give us a commanding position of the battlefield. Right, then unload over here. Okay. I do have my SAM sections. What we'll do then is we'll have them advance to cover the main armoured push. I think some additional mechanized as well. Have them deploy along the roads. Yes, I think that's what we're going to do. I want them to move into the actual city centre. Then I think if we take a position... I mean, this is it. If I try to make a beeline for the centre of the city, we may lose out. We may actually really win big. But I think we'll head for about here, and then I'm going to unload the actual infantry. If we unload the infantry and advance with the infantry and the BMPs, that could be quite effective. We do have the option of the napalm strike over here, and I'm really very tempted to call in the napalm strike. I don't know, what do you guys reckon? Should we call in a napalm strike over here just to actually limit the options of the Finnish forces here? You have to bear in mind they do have objectives within the city and the area itself. The game is real-time possible, and, well, you can have it set to a round-based sort of system. You can change the actual amount of time that passes before the actual round ends, and then obviously you have to then issue orders or move it on. And burn them all. Okay, I think what we will do then is we will launch a napalm strike over here then. We don't have our forces available yet. Right, must have their point of entry. Right, okay. During the battle, when the player calls the helicopters, they fly to the first battle position. Okay. Lines. Okay. Right. I think I will place this. They're ready. Mission coordinates. Perhaps we need a spotter. Right, our SAM section is ready over here. You must set up the helicopters before starting. Could the developers just give me a quick heads up on actually how to deploy that? Apologies about this. I've actually not had experience with the air supports. This is new to me. Yes, I mean, this is it. It's one of these things of where once you are actually familiar with using these assets, it becomes very, very easy. I think what we need to do then is we'll just get this set up then with the actual air support. We are going to be having a fairly lengthy stream. Don't worry about that one. Oh my god. I can't believe the amount of time that's already passed. That's insane. That's incredible. What do you guys think of the game so far? I mean, I've got to be honest, I really do like it so far, and I think it's going to be very effective. So while I wait for the developer to get back to me on how to actually set up the air support, I will deploy my... right, select the flight and click on the map a few times. Okay. Oh, I see. So, oh, right. Oh, okay. So these are... Right. Now I understand. Okay, superb. Let's go back over here now. Now we understand the system. So this is actually the entry point. So this is where our helicopters will enter from. So what I'll do is I'll have some scout helicopters. They can position themselves. I don't want to have them head over this way. I think what we'll do then is we'll actually use the height map. So we do have a high up position over here. I think what we'll do is we'll have them hover in that position. Now this is actually quite a nice way to use your aircraft. Right, so here is our entry point, target reference point, no line of sight. Okay, this is going to be quite good. Right, I do have line of sight over both sections over here. Okay, that's pretty cool. We'll enter over this way. Okay. Target reference point. Battle position. There we go. And they're ready. You set 2 battle positions and 2 target reference points per... Right, okay. So basically what the developer here is saying, for example, if I have these helicopters enter, this is their entry point, then we have our target, well, our target reference point. What we'll do then is we'll have our target reference point over here, and their battle position will be here. Now this second target reference point will be over here. Go. Now, obviously, I'm going to make a big mess of this, but you guys do have to be somewhat forgiving. You don't really. I'm sure you guys will pick up this game a hell of a lot faster than I will. Let's see. I'm going to have some helicopter reconnaissance here. I'd like to have it over in the north as well. Where's the battle position? Probably not a good idea to have them out that way. Actually. So our helicopters enter from over here. I will have them hover above the battlefield, above the trees here. You can see here they'll have line of sight. We'll move our second position and then cover here. Okay, now that we actually understand the system a hell of a lot better, this becomes a significantly easier thing to plan out. Okay. Line of sight here. Second battle position. Line of sight here. Superb. Okay, we do have the gunships. Now the gunships are going to be incredibly handy. So we'll have them enter from the center of the map, and I think probably this is their range. Okay. Let's see. I think we'll have the helicopters enter from the south, actually. Okay. Right, what I'll do then is I'll have them deploy over here. So their range isn't going to cover obviously everything in the map, but we do have some pretty good line of sight. So what I'll say is I'll give them a target reference point of potentially over here. Then our second battle position, I'll have them move to the south perhaps. Or to cover this position here. I think this position here should be quite under our own control. Okay, we're assigned that. There we go, so we are ready to go then. Superb. What I'll do then is I'll just deploy my armor. We'll have our armor down to the south over here. Obviously these guys aren't going to be in position, so what we'll do then is we'll set up a formation. Right, there we go. Bunch of MBTs are going to make their way down here as quickly as possible. Now, do I have them all operate together? I think so. I think so. I think that's going to be the most effective way to actually use these T-70s. So what we'll do then is we'll have them advance down this way. I'll change the orders to contact. I want them to take a position over here. Now the T-80s. Do I have the T-80s to support the mechanized at the top? Probably a decent idea. We'll have the T-80s advance behind the mechanized. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them advance to this position over here. I don't want to actually unveil them too soon. Okay. Now I'm going to split up this AA section. There we go. Right. Are you guys ready? Let's go. Battle begins. Now units are going to obviously organize themselves as best as they can. There we go. Rounds complete. Fire and HE. Fire and smoke. There we go. Rounds down range. Oh, hello. What's this? Oh, hello. Hello, hello. Is this an ATGM? Yes, so basically what this blue line indicates actual sight and shot. So we actually might have a first kill of the battle within about 40 odd seconds. Right, we don't have a kill shot here, but we do have eyes on target. What we have to bear in mind is that basically, within this game, within this actual era, things die very, very easily and from very long range. It very much does come down to having line of sight, first and foremost. Right, I am very tempted to actually call in this napalm strike. The aircraft flies towards the designated waypoint, the aircraft attack ground targets, okay. I think we'll keep that, we'll keep it in reserve. Okay. But that was a hell of a long shot. We take a look at the line of sight of this unit of this BMP-2. You can see that is over. That's almost 2,500 meters away. That is a long shot. Right, so we have our explosive shells downrange, so we see that we have started fire over in this forest. Now, this is actually pretty decent. The idea is I want to try and deny this section. Further rounds arriving. Okay, fire. Firing for effect. Overly true, but they did well to spot. Oh, hello, what do we have here? Scout team is taking fire. We're taking fire from over this area. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cancel this. I'm going to have them... need to move into the building. Right, move there. Now they're under fire, so it's going to take them a little bit longer to respond. I do have my mechanized over here. We could bring one of our BMPs down here to actually aid in this. So I think what we'll do then is... Okay, we have mechanized entering the city shortly. Let the scouts pop smoke. Good idea. Okay. Cancel that. So now they will pop smoke. We're going to have them pop smoke here. There goes smoke on the ground. Okay, ideally this will help protect them. I do have my mechanized making their way downtown. Okay, smoke rounds downrange. Okay, they're reaching their second waypoint. Okay, so we have our infantry, our scout team dismounted over here. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to have them move over here to scout that position out. I think we'll leave the BMP over here, actually. The T-70s are moving out. Not too quickly, but they're moving in formation, which is why. Right, we are still taking fire over here. This is what I'm talking about with the command and delay. Right, we do have a eyes on the target over here. ATGM out. They are T-72As. Seems like we have a hit, perhaps? Okay, the scout team will begin moving shortly. What we'll do then is... Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this unit separated. Right, so cancel your orders. I'm going to have you move down here. We'll try to flank the enemy. Right, we did lose the scout team here to enemy fire. Probably the best bet is to actually allow the infantry to enter into the city and then we'll begin moving in. We do have our section over here. They have arrived within the itself, so I'm going to have them move inside the building. Probably a good idea. I think eyes on about here. Ooh, we lost one of our BMPs. Ooh, damn. Right, well that's quite dangerous. Move inside the building here. Right, okay, so we're going to cancel the orders of the T-80s. Wow, okay, so we have a P-76 over here. Do we have any eyes on? Let's see, what do the T-80s see? They don't see this yet. How about our mechanized over here? These guys are in some pretty heavy danger. They don't see it, but they may do soon enough. Okay. The T-80s will be able to deal with that. Yeah, I was hoping that we would have actually had the luxury to advance through here without the enemy. I didn't imagine they would have been up here so quickly, but it seems they do have... Well, this is it. This is reconnaissance assets, isn't it? So it's going to advance pretty rapidly. Now, we do still have the 40mm grenade launcher. We do still have our PG-7s. We may still have the option to take out that PT-76 if we're lucky. Some fires over here. Right, let's have you move up. Just in case. Obviously the range is... Actually no, we could leave them here effectively. The range is fine. Now I do have the option of speeding things up. Okay, we do have eyes on a tracked vehicle over here. Wow, okay, we do have multiple PT-76s. Okay. Right. What we're going to do then is we're going to detach this T-80. There we go. Right, these guys need to unload. Okay. If you take a look at the isometric view here, we can see obviously the enemy is in force. Let's see. Over in this section. It seems the enemy has had their forces pre-established over here. They've rapidly moved up over here. Now they've actually taken out one of our BMPs, which is actually quite a significant asset to lose, considering we don't have that many assets to begin with. So we do have to be rather disheartened at that loss. Ideally, we can make up the difference. We do have helicopter support should we need it. The battle we're playing right now takes place within 1983. You can change the year it takes place quite easily. Okay. We'll load our troops over here. Okay, see, HQ contact is pretty low. Now, I probably should have had some dedicated headquarter units, but that's fine. We'll regret that later. We'll have this tracked unit. What is spotting that? Okay, the infantry is engaging. They're nervous. MP still burning. I do regret not taking some headquarter units now. Right. Another ATGM out. How many ATGMs do you actually have remaining? So you only have the one ATGM. Now what I could do, for example, is I could, let's see, I could actually set the range, so this is soft targets versus hard targets. So for example, if I wanted to actually set this for hard targets, I could say, let's see, don't fire anything beyond 2,000 meters. Or I could change it for the cannon to fire at nothing beyond 2,000 meters. Obviously something that classes as a hard target, or a soft target. Okay, ATGM out. We have eyes on a T-55. I'd imagine this might be perhaps a T-55. We have eyes on BTR. Ah, BMP. Secondary BMP. Okay, the T-70s are moving in. Right, our T-80 over here to the north has acquired target. PT-76 down. Second PT-76 down. Okay, infantry has been deployed. Okay, fly. Right, we'll have them scout. Have them make their way across here. Well, actually, to be fair, let's reattach them. Now what I'm going to do is actually cancel all their orders. I'd like them to move over here. Yeah, most of their forces are still over here. Oh, they are. They are running AA over here. We do have to be quite careful of that. Ah, yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is, let's see. We have our HE. What I'm going to do is actually change this. I'm going to cancel this fire order, this fire mission, sorry. Fire mission. We have... I'll dedicate about 10 guns to this. Okay, I'm going to set the target. They're making their way towards the bridge here. That's going to take about 2 minutes to adjust. That's fine. Within about 2 minutes, they should be in the target area. There's a lot of enemy forces there. Oh dear. Right, what do you see? You have a line of sight? Right, so this is a unit. So this unit is actually spotting a hell of a lot of these units here. Yeah, look at that. That is an actual supreme position. Right, mechanized has only got a few moments here. Right, let's see. I think what we may have to do is actually increase the speed here. So cancel all orders. I want you to move fast, and then I want you to move down with contact over here. I think we need to secure this position. I think what I may do is actually have the mechanized advance over here. Excuse me. Right, I want you to advance to that position there. One and a half minutes. Okay, the MP2 has eyes on, last ATGM out, the T-55 MPT. It seems like the T-55A may have eyes on, ideally not. Miss again. Right, we have, oh wow. I didn't think they'd actually be able to sight them from here. So second ATGM out. And importantly, if this takes out the... Yes, it does! Oh! Yes, thank you. Right, I'm very much considering do we drop napalm. Well, what we can do here is we can actually use, let's say, for example, we have our scout team over here. I can give them the standard operator procedure. We can change how they pathfind. We can say how... Well, we can tell them to hold fire, rate of fire, use main element, unload on contact, smoke generator on, off, orders. Some very nice options actually available to us here. Didn't actually imagine they'd be able to hit from here. Rather impressive. Okay, do we consider bringing in the Mi-24? Ideally, we could hit this bad boy. If I take out their AA, that'd actually be a major, major game changer. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to change the formation. Change that to 3. I want them to move in rapidly. That will take some time for the order to be carried out. But you can see here the T-72As are now increasing speed, as obviously they're not trying to maintain formation anymore, they're just using their individual pathfinding. Okay, 34 seconds until the fire mission is ready. I do have another fire mission available here for the smoke. I hear a helicopter. An artillery. Oh boy. Okay, we need to get them the hell out of Dodge. Right, they're actually in a structure here, so at least that's probably the safest point for them to be at. Okay, T-55. Okay. Unload the infantry ASAP. I need to take control of the centre of the city here. Oh, it might be the T. Well, that's actually true, isn't it? The turbine engines. And it is. So that's a very nice detail, isn't it? Yeah, HA is ready to fire. It's going to fire for effect. Right. Fire mission Kiev is in operation. Bring the rain. Right, so ideally the thunder here that we're bringing down on the enemy should be enough to try and dissuade them from crossing the bridge. They are crossing over here, however. Oh, look at that! We actually do have a kill here. Notice this was actually occupied by the enemy, and now it is no longer occupied. So we actually did achieve a kill here with the artillery. Definitely bringing the thunder here. Okay, T-80s are advancing in the north. T-72s are trying to get to their positions. We are advancing entire companies, so we are advancing them together. Yeah, mining the bridges. Okay, fire mission is ready. We are going to wait until further units advance into here. I think what we might need is a secondary fire mission over here, perhaps. Though I'm tempted, I'm very, very tempted. The vast majority of these units are rather light-skinned. I'd love to see how they could actually handle napalm. Okay, so our units are offloaded. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have them advance up to here. Now, if I'd had a headquarter units, our units would be behaving a lot more effectively. They'd be behaving pretty quickly as well. So that's my fault for that one. Right, unload. Load. Right, dismounted. Okay, so I could reload them as well, which is quite a nice option. Okay, I think we should move through the trees here. Move to this position. I'm going to tell the EMP to rotate. And these are very, very effective and viable vehicles. Right, I'm going to have you move up the scout section. I absolutely love the turbine engines here. Okay. Right, fire mission Kiev is complete. Okay, our T-70s have arrived over here now. Right, we have multiple units within the actual fire mission. We are going to fire for effect. Fire. I don't like that noise. I'm hearing ATGMs. I'm hearing something. And it does sound worryingly like ATGMs. Oh my! Okay, what is that line of sight like from over here? Not very good. Okay, so if I occupy... I need this position. Where can I see you from? It's actually quite low, isn't it? Right, we have cannon fire. Right, first of all, rotate. Then I want you to advance up to about this position here. Mechanized squad taking in direct fire. Yeah, that's the issue with the artillery here. Where's this fire come from? Oh, is this fire mission Kiev? Oh, so you can see here we have the rocket artillery I was talking about prior. To see how quickly that's coming in. That's fantastic. There we go, target destroyed. The MP2 down. Now guys, I do wonder, do you also have the rocket pods? Let's see. I'm calling in air support. So what I'm going to hope for is that they drop the napalm in this area. I think a lot of these vehicles are light-skinned, and they should be quite easy to deal with. And ideally the chemical weapon actually could be very effective. Hello there, Charcoal, how you doing, my friend? Okay, so I have another option here of fire mission. Yeah, the napalm's going to be great. I am somewhat tempted to bring in the Mi-24. Right, our 72s are advancing here in the south. This one spotter, this one scout team is just absolutely lighting everything up. This is amazing. Okay, T-80s are still over here. I think what we'll do then is we'll advance with the mechanized squads. You know what? Napalm is just amazing. Okay, I think what we'll do then is we'll change the fire mission. So I'm going to change this. Right, so cancel this mission. I'm going to create a new fire mission. Fire mission Moscow. Okay. Right, so we do have this, whoa! Incoming artillery. That's still a good sign. Depressed. God damn. Okay, what we're going to do then is... I'm actually going to allow them to generate smoke. Okay, we are going to cancel these orders. I'm going to change the formation to 3 here. Okay, so what I want to do then is I want to have them deploy. Okay, they're going to split up the actual company here. Try reattach. Work together. Never stop your formation while under barrage. That's very true. What we're doing here is we are popping smoke and we are going to actually have them bug out into different directions. So they won't ideally stop, they'll maybe potentially a few seconds. Okay. I'm going to drop Fire Mission Moscow over here. I know it's a cringy name, but you know I like it. Okay. Potentially a wider. Try some dual munitions. That should ideally be quite effective. Okay, we are taking some damage over here. Rest. We are spreading out in different directions as well. Okay, they're moving over here. Okay, our T-72 has a target. Oh, quite far away, isn't it? Line of shot. Rounds passing overhead. Oh, we lost sight. EMP opening up. Okay, call in fire mission Kiev as well. Fire. Right hit. Radio suppressed. Suppressed. Those rounds are proving quite effective. Okay, so far we are having some nice success over here. I wanted to move up to these actual buildings. The reason being low advance. Okay, our own fire missions are launching. There we go. Right, see how the BMPs over here? Are they dropping smoke? It looks like they had some smoke over here. Right, only a few seconds left. 10 seconds. I think what we'll do then is we'll bring in the napalm and launch the artillery strike at the same time, ideally, as close as we can do. Okay, so we have our BMP over here. Has actually identified target. Ooh, hello. Damn, they're out in the open. That's not good. Okay, I do have a BMP not too far away. I'll tell these guys, right, so cancel your last waypoint. I want you to pop smoke. Only hand grenades. Don't have anything heavier. Right, you pop smoke. Get the hell into that building. Okay, fire for effect. Fire. Right, now we're starting to get some targets here. Yes, we are playing as the Soviets. We are fighting against Finnish forces. Look at these bad boys. Notice our rockets are out on target. Have I called this in the wrong section? Oh, that's my bad. Okay, hopefully they should be able to independently acquire targets. Oh. I did not know you were here. Are you going for a bomber room? That's not looking good. Damn. Going down. The napalm strike was not very effective. I think we must have called it in the wrong section, perhaps. I think the target should have been over here instead of here. But alas, we should have potential to bring them back. They are regrouping. Okay, I do have the gunship ready and willing. Yes, we can actually slow this down. We can speed this up. Quite a few options. Right, the Mi-24s are moving in. Let's see, where's my Mi-24? Look at this. We have fragmentation. Yeah, good luck surviving that. Okay. Is this enemy or friendly? I think this is enemy. Ooh. Yes, this BTR is going to have a very, very bad day. Yeah, that is a very, very bad day. Ooh, they do actually have elements over here. Right, you're immobilized, okay. Okay, I think what we're going to try to do then is actually move our T-72s. Never a good idea moving them into the city, but I'm aware of that one. It's just I want them to be more better protected. We did lose a T-72A over here. Okay. Okay, we'll move you over here. Right, we'll have helicopters coming in soon. 3 minutes. 4 to 5 minutes. Infantry still moving. Yes, you can definitely see why you'd want to have something more mobile for your infantry. Okay. So if we inspect the map over here in isometric view. EMP's taking fire. They're definitely dropping a heck of a lot of artillery over here. Ooh. Do lose the BMP. Right, they're still regrouping. We do still technically have 2 of them, so we may be able to bring them back in for a second napalm run. Okay, T-72 is actually acquired target. Well, it did acquire target. Suppose because it's moving. We have a BMP there. Because of the fact I moved my tank over here, we have lost sight. Right, you do spot it. You are turning your turret to engage. I'll rotate you. Okay, yep. Turn to face the target. Okay, MG on target. Yeah, they're buttoned up over there. Yes, definitely. Finland does have some strong artillery. Okay, target down. I mean, this is it. We made a nice, very simple plan to begin with, and already that has failed by enemy action. Okay. This is a very open section here. I really do not want to move out there. What I'm going to do is actually take a position of a housing over here. I'll move the BMP. This position here. Move up the second BMP as well. Okay, I do have my Strela over here. I do have the mechanized squad. I'll have the mechanized squad move out. Right, we have incoming artillery once again. Goddamn. Okay, I'm going to have to get you out of this area pretty quickly. I still have this immobilized T-72A. I mean, at the end of the day, what is your line of sight like? Not great, but you still have line of sight over here, you have line of sight over here. But at least we still have the ability to fight. Infantry slowly make its way into the city. Infantry squad taking fire. Rotate. Okay. I'm gonna have you separate. I want you to actually... Well, let's see. Contact. Something's definitely here. Basically what this dictates is shot out. We are taking a lot of damage over this section. I'm gonna move you out of this position. Yes, this artillery is definitely quite effective. Right, the Mi-24 shouldn't be far away now. Right, here we go. Right, so we're having them head out to this position here. Ideally, they do have line of sight over here. Okay, let's see. I'm going to move Fire Mission Moscow target here. Going to take some time to reacquire. Fire Mission Kiev is going to fire, increase in volleys, about 5 volleys. Fire. They're going to take some time to turn around. It's just the man delay. Okay. Infantry are going to open up. Okay, cancel your mission here. I want you to engage. In here. Cancel your mission too. Engage an enemy. Okay, Mi-24s are arriving in area. Ideally, they can see something from over here. We'll bring the tank up. Try and flank them, ideally. Oh, wow. Okay, we have artillery raining down on our position. These guys need to get the hell out of Dodge. Okay, the T-80s. Now, the Mi-24s aren't seeing anything from over this position here. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. They do. Oh, they do. Look at those bad boys moving in. Artillery rounds landing. They've definitely spotted something over that direction. These are just fire and forget missiles. Basically dumb rockets, I suppose you could call them. Yeah, 57mm rockets. Damn, that artillery is effective. Right, we have our Mi-2s over here. These are scout helicopters. No, this game has not yet released. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is we have a meeting engagement. So we are trying to fight for control of our objectives, which we actually still need to take over. Let's see. What I'm going to do then is actually use over here. Right. Take you, and you. Have you move towards this center position, take control of the objective. What I'm going to do is actually, let's see, load. Okay, Mi-24s moving to their secondary position, I'd imagine now. Seems like you've, right now is the Mi-2. Of Mi-2, well, Mi-24 is holding position. Okay, so this is the size of the map. You can basically choose to fight in any of these locations. This isn't the largest map available. It's rather an intriguing system in how it works. Okay, so the BMP's light in the map. I need the infantry into the center of town here. I have lots of gaps in my lines because I actually just do not have reconnaissance over it. Okay. Continue to move up the T-80s. Reattach. Move up the BMPs. I do have helicopters over here that are operating. Right, seems like you're probably heading out of map to actually rearm. Ooh, we have a tracked vehicle over here as well. We do have the T-72s that are going to move into position here, so they should be able to spot soon enough. Yeah, the AI is actually doing a very good job. Okay, so the Su-17s are ready once again. Okay. I do actually want to see this napalm deployed. I think what I'll do is then again, do I want to light this position up? Okay, so what we have over here is an actual neutral unit. Okay. I'm very glad I told these units to start moving. Very, very glad. What do we see from this position? Actually, nothing. Okay, so we made a poor choice by moving them there. The Mi-24 does have a little bit better line of sight. Right, the T-70 is moving into position here. Yes, there are neutral units. They can basically take the form of civilians, or I suppose you could say friendly forces. I'm just going to move this unit in over here to take control of the... Never mind. We know there are actual enemy forces over here now. Right, there we go, engaging. Well, that went down pretty quickly. Okay, so we're taking control of the objective. Okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to assemble these two tubes. Want them to gather up. Okay, these forces can move into the center of the city. I still have my T-70s over here. Right, still nothing spotted. Right, we do have plenty of forces over here. We have lost forces, we have lost a few units. We're not doing great, but we're not doing awful. We do need to go ahead and occupy our objectives. I do need to try and take control of what is over here. So I think what we'll do then is cancel this. Have you move contact. These infantry moving through here should be fairly effective. I think a lot of this has been rather poor placement and not actually taking headquarter units. Okay, so we have a squad there. And they're about to get lit up by quite a few units here. The infantry's firing upon them. We have the T-70. Yeah, that should be fairly effective. That's gonna hurt. Okay, so let's see. I do have my air support available. That doesn't look good. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is try to call the SU over here. They're inbound. Ideally, they use their napalm. If they could use a napalm and actually deny this to the enemy. I don't think we have much in the way of enemy air defense. I think the issue the AI is having over here is the fact, well, I don't believe they know we know they're there. I'd imagine they're probably suspecting it, considering the amount of artillery bombardments. But they don't have a line of sight. I mean, this one scout team is just sighting everything here. It's actually quite beautiful. Yes, I think we're lacking infantry. If we'd had more infantry. I mean, granted, we do have infantry over here, but we don't have perhaps enough mounted infantry. That'd been very handy. Okay, move into this here. I'll have you rotate. Okay, good. We actually do have line of sight over here. See if they've used The ATGM, perhaps? Or is just that the main gun? We have to bear in mind they still have a 73mm gun. Yes, our units do have fatigue. Fatigue 14. They are getting pretty tired. Okay, rotate. These forces here just feel not having a good time. I could do actually load them up. I go out. Other Mi-24s moving out. Additional forces moving in here. I think what we'll do then is... I'll set the target over here to 5 mission. No. I'd like to call in both artillery strikes at once. Okay, enemy forces over here. Right, cancel this. I'd like you to actually move back into your transport. Load. Load. Reattach. Right, and BT taking fire. Okay, rotating. Damage. Right, we're actually mobilized. And the T-80 is actually panicked. We are taking some effective fire from whatever is over here. That's not good. That's definitely not good. The stream will go on for some time. We'll see. We'll get to a sort of natural point and then we'll probably bring it to a close. I would like to see the napalm be used. I mean, personally, that's just me. Okay. Now the AI is bunching its forces over here, so the Finnish forces are bunching up over in this position here. I can't say I blame them due to the fact, can you imagine moving through this hell? Okay. I mean, this is a really bad time for our T-80s. Definitely not having a good, good time over here. Okay, so we have a neutral unit here. Ooh. Right. Fire for effect. Air support is inbound soon. There we go, rocket artillery on the way. Yeah, they're trying to get out of here. Well, the mission we're playing here is a meet and engagement. So I have objectives within the city, the enemy will have objectives within the city. For the SU go. Where's our second SU? Or do we only have the one? I know one of them might have been shot down potentially. I just want to see them do a napalm run. Okay, seems like they're regrouping. The gunships are now no longer available. There we go. That's looking pretty nice. Ooh. Wow, okay. That just took out one of my T-72s. I mean, I've got to give it to the AI. I mean, sure, perhaps this map wasn't the best. I was, assuming the AI... Actually, I should imagine there should have been fordable points. But I'm not gonna lie, they're actually doing a pretty damn good job. Yeah, they scared the napalm aircraft. And I can't say I blame them. Okay, that's pretty close quarters. But that ended pretty quickly. See, there's a lot of the enemy forces over here, but they still have a lot of forces around here, and I don't even know where they all are. That's a big question. Okay. Oh boy. Seems they're firing off grenades. Ideally they use an RPG. Go on, RPG. Okay. You can imagine just how different this battle could have been on a open plains map. That'd been rather impressive. I think what we'll do then is actually we'll consider taking a look at that. I think we'll look at a map that's probably more favourable to the AI. So let's see. We'll call this a draw then perhaps. Then again, I'd like to see 5 taken down. Looks like he's not going to get the sight. Is he going to get a shot? No, he doesn't get time for the shot. We do have our infantry squad on the way. Right, he's really by the target. Please take the shot. Oh, you are being flanked by BMP-1. Okay, that's not a good sight at all. Rotate. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to end the battle. Also a draw. And what I want to do then is go off a additional feature. So here we have the end draw. Now what we can do is we can take a look at the AAR mode. You can see here 12 troops lost, 7 vehicles lost, 86 and 27, that's a lot. I did lose one of my aircraft however. You can see here how the battle actually deploys. See here we move our T-72s, move our mechanized and T-80s, but the PT-76s actually came in and really gave us quite the number. Yep, see air spot going in and out. Pretty awesome in my opinion. Really nice to actually get that sort of roundup of how the battle actually went. What we're going to do is we're going to exit. We're going to go ahead and set up a new game. So I'm going to generate a second mission. Now, I think the North German plane should probably be more advantageous. But yes, so we can have the minimum size. So this is like the absolute smallest size of the battle here. We can take a look at the maximum size. So for example, I could have the entirety of Hamburg, should I want that. We could have Munster, Rothenburg. That's actually rather impressive. I think we'll go for something about halfway. Possibly. Perhaps a bit less, about 6,720. Let's see. I think we'll go for an open plain. Yeah, something over here. Well, I mean, this is basically your map generator. This is absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in a game before. What we'll do is we'll deploy over here. Now, we do have small rivers there. They should be quite easily navigable. We do have 2 roads running across here, so I'd imagine bridges. So this shouldn't be any issue. We'll take a look at the North German plane. This time we will play as the US Army. Let's say we'll face the German Democratic Republic. We'll have the battle take place in Actually, we'll go with about 1960. 1961. Oh, 66. We'll go for 66. Okay, you can see here 75, 70, 70, 65. Mechanized armored. We'll go with a mechanized. We'll face off against armored. Can you USA versus USA? That'd be really funny, actually. We will try that again in the future. UK versus UK. Set all the water to passable. Okay, point taken. That was my bad. Now, I want you guys to bear in mind that that was my fault regarding the AI in the water. I'd assumed that we might have had amphibious units within the game already. That is my fault. That will be added in the future, I am sure. So I just want you guys to actually point that out. And UK versus USA. What weathers are there? So let's take a look at the weather actually, shall we? We have wind speeds as well. We have the weather over here. We could have fair. We could have poor. So this is visibility, I do believe. Yes, indeed. Ah. Yes, there's winter, so we can actually play in winter. Obviously, that just changed things. I think we'll play... We'll have this take place in December then. Okay, cold and winter conditions. There we go. So the weather is clear. Ground conditions are fair. No, indeed. Okay, we'll do winds, we'll move in here. I'm actually going to change up the amount of damage to about 50%. Let's say the war's been going for some time. We have meat engagement, we have defense, we have offense. We'll play, I don't know, we'll play offensively. Yeah. Okay. We'll enter from the south and advance against the north. I think that sounds pretty good. British battle groups, what are they doing? I'll give them some dug-in positions. 4 objectives, urban hills and roads. The water is frozen. So I need the water to be portable, is that what I need? Check that. Set the water all passable. Correct. Frozen water is okay. Okay, we'll go with frozen water. Superb. Right, fantastic. So we are going to be carrying out an offensive mission. Go forward. Give the GDR quite a advantage. Now then again, go for about 5,000 points. That is quite effective. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I can imagine the AI to be quite tenacious under defense. I really do imagine that. I think I might be setting myself up to be destroyed here. But we'll go with that. So as you can see, we could change things here. I'll reduce my amount of armor. I will increase the amount of air support I do have available. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at what we have available with the Americans. Oh, yes, please. So we do have the M... You know, I absolutely love the Walker Bulldogs. They are amazing. M60s. Oh yeah, I love those things. 90mm guns. Right, we do have the autocannons. Yes, I do have to stress that this game is nowhere near finished. Well, it's coming out to release at some point in the future, but it's definitely still a work in progress. So do please bear in mind that we are playing in an early access version. This is on behalf of Matrix and Slytherin, as well as the developers of the game, that they are so kind as to show this off. Right. Who really like these Walker Bulldogs? I'm not gonna lie, those things are pretty awesome. 72 kilometers per hour. Okay, I think what we'll do then is... Oh, that arm is absolutely pathetic. I think we'll run a couple of Walker Bulldogs, and then what I'll do is I'll support them with some M60s. I really do enjoy the game. I think it's absolutely fantastic so far. I think it's something that really does have a niche out here on the market. I really do. Probably some fast moving be a bad idea. I do have some armoured... Yeah, they're fairly well armoured, about 35mm, not too bad. kilometers per hour. Now these walker bulldogs are actually pretty fast. Okay. Right, what we'll do is actually, we'll have a couple walker bulldog sections. They're actually fairly cheap, which is actually quite nice. M14s. Assault rifle. Oh, so these guys are still using the semi-automatic rifle. Okay. These guys are going to be far too slow. I need them mechanized. Yeah, these guys are only using the HMGs. Okay, let's pick up a couple mechanized infantry sections. Tanks are really going to be very important here. We have the M48A3s, we have the M60A1s. I think we need the M60s. I absolutely adore the M60s. I'm going to pick up a company of M60s. Perhaps 2 companies. And we do have flamethrower sections. I'm very, very tempted. Oh, wow. That thing is amazing. Okay. AA is going to be very handy. We do have to bear that in mind. Right, remove that. We do have mortars. Heavy mortars. I think we could do with some heavy mortars. We'll put a couple heavy mortar sections in there. And Willy Jeep is a must. Okay. That is pretty quick. Okay, I think we'll actually pick up a couple of these Jeep AT sections. They do sound rather intriguing. A couple of these self-propelled AA. Gonna need these. I think about 4 of them we are gonna have to really be quite aware. So we do have the F4 Phantom, F4D. Anti-air missiles, we do have the Sky Raider. Oh wow. That is amazing. F100s, Super Sabres. I think we will need the ability to lay down some napalm. We do have some UIs over here. ATGMs, and rocket pods. I think we'll bring a couple ATGM launchers. Cluster bombs. The rocket pods are pretty good. Okay, they sound pretty awesome. Now I need headquarters. Almost forgot about that. In fact, what I'm going to do then is I'm actually going to drop those. I'm actually going to bring some more headquarters. There we go. I like my napalm. I really do. Okay. I'm going to throw a few more of these jeeps in here. I've always been in love with napalm. I just think it could be extremely effective. Okay, we're always going to play that. We'll show hidden in the AR. Excuse me. And we'll start. Okay, now that definitely does make a big difference here with the white. Lovely, nice and snowy. These Walker Bulldogs are so very nice. Now this is a very open map. If I take a look at the map, yes, this is definitely... This could be quite the turkey shoot. Good thing we've actually brought a lot of forces here, but then again the enemy is going to actually have a hell of a lot of forces dug in here. This is not a very large map, and for the amount of forces here, this is going to be quite the bloodbath. Oh boy. Okay. We have our M60s over here. I think what we need to do then is have them advance in wedge formation. That looks... M60 company over here as well. Of wedge formation. I think what we need to do then is advance down the center. But again, it's a little bit too narrow for 2 sections. What I'll do then is I'll have this company advance down this side over here. I want you to slowly and advance up here. Same for these guys, have them towards the middle. Move up to that position over here. Now, I do have my M41 Walker Bulldogs over here. These guys are going to be amazing. Okay. I honestly cannot wait for these Walker Bulldogs just to get absolutely lit up. Right, the enemy could still very well be over here. Not defend. I'd like you to try and take up this position over here. Ryan, you just hold your position here, perhaps. Okay, so I do have my headquarters. I'm going to deploy those near the M60s. The headquarters over here. I do have my mortars. I'm going to move them to the rear. The on-map artillery and mortars. On-map units with a main weapon that has indirect fire capability can lob shells within minimum maximum fire range. Okay. Onto that. Right. No spotter. I think what we'll have to do here... Yeah, totally different terrain than Finland. Definitely... I mean, this is it. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath, I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine it's going to be a bloodbath. I think what we need to do is probably use smoke to actually advance up here. So I think a good idea would probably to actually smoke out the enemy positions over here. With just in for our smoke. Have our mechanized. Okay, have them in tight, well, quite tight formation. Probably not a very good idea, but we actually have a lot of forces here for actually a relatively small map. Definitely not the way you should be moving units. But we'll see. Okay, we'll keep these to the rear. You know, I'm really actually quite excited to see how effective these jeeps could be. Oh my days. Okay, do definitely want you to smoke up this area. Okay, we have our AA. Spread these guys out. Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. Infantry square. It really is, isn't it? Oh my days. ATGM range is actually pretty good. Target reference point probably over here. Second battle position a bit over that way. Have his second gunships arrive from over this way. Second battle position probably around here. Okay, so we do have the ability to call in cluster bombs as well as napalm. You guys can imagine I'm very excited about. Okay, so begin the battle. I absolutely adore M60. Formations are on point indeed. So what we're basically doing here is we're taking a we're gonna take this as a sort of Napoleonic battle. Oh dear. Get rid of the napalm. Actually, speaking of napalm, I assume this is my napalm. Okay, heavy mortars are ready to fire. Right, ready to fire. Fire for effect. Fire for effect. Okay, napalm. I'm gonna try and burn the city here. Now, do you know what? I absolutely adore these bulldogs. Okay, so we have smoke arriving. Okay, then what I'd like to do is actually drop some HE, I'd imagine, over this way. I mean, this is it. I don't know where to expect the enemy. They're going to be here somewhere. And they're going to be dug in very, very bloody well. I do imagine probably in this position here, so I'm going to just... I'd like to try and open up over here. Right, start you advancing. This is so many. Okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to actually have a couple of them advance over here. Towards the town. Oh, we actually did manage to take out some reconnaissance over here, actually. Whereabouts was that? Right, the mortars are ready to fire. Okay, fire for effect. HE rounds down range. How many rounds do you actually have? Oh yes, not many rounds, but we do have a couple. Walker Bulldogs are still moving in. Right, we are taking fire over here. Okay. Get the hell out of Dodge. Also, we're taking fire. Ah, right, this is where we actually took down the enemy vehicle. Okay, they're ready in their formation. The M6 is moving out over here, though. See, a couple of them are moving by a road. Quite nice. Right, let's hold fire. A couple of APCs. Right, we are engaging a target over here. What do we have? So it is a wheeled target. And it's actually dug in over here, so it should be actually more problematic to handle. I love the look of these things. Shot out. Oh boy, what do we have over here? So we have an SPW-40, we have an entrenchment vehicle over here. This is why you should have, like, tanks as a reconnaissance. That thing is screwed. Oh, hello. Right. Dead. Destroyed by high explosive anti-tank round. Okay, so I think what we'll do is actually bring in our helicopters. Yep, move in. Good job. Right, somebody should be playing Flight of the Valkyries pretty damn soon. You can see how much more difficult it is to actually destroy these vehicles when they're entrenched in that position. An aircraft. Da 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 da. I just love the way they move. I do think it's a good idea to drop. Did they spot something? This is, I can't tell whether they actually spotted something, seeing as though I have no line of sight over there. The Super Saber was taking fire. Right. We did actually destroy a vehicle there by one of the M60s. Okay, let's begin to advance. That vehicle's proven to be a pain. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to use my HE mortar. Oh, did I lose one of my Walker Bulldogs? Oh no, I did. Damn it. Half tempted to move some of my Jeeps in over here. Try that. Touch. Right to Justin. Can't quite get the hit on it. Right. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to pause here. Right, seems like I've stopped firing. I will have the mortar section open up, fire for effect. Helicopters should be arriving in time. Yes, here they are. So we have our Hueys. These bad boys are kind of ATGMs. Yes. Come on. I do wonder how effective they're going to be here. There we go, more helicopters coming in. Ooh. Did they not spot the target? Okay, they're going to engage. Please. Oh, you're going down, okay. Did they not spot the target? Do spot the target, do not. have the range. Are you too close? They may be too close. See, a lot of this is learning, so you do have to forgive quite a lot of the mistakes I'm making here. Right, DPICM artillery would be very effective. I do hope the developers do forgive me. Okay, so both our Hueys were shot down over here. That's a shame. Okay, I'd imagine our second lot of Hueys should be more effective. Okay, M60s acquired target. Yep, multiple M60s acquired on target. Indeed, failure is part of the learning process. Okay, these guys should be far more effective. I think we were too far forward on the front lines there. Okay, we're still not spotting anything over here. Perhaps they do need other units to spot for them. Oh, no, they do have line of sight. Fine, that over there. The Hueys are definitely firing at something. In the trees. Okay, continue with the advance. Napoleonic Square number 1, move up. This is such terrible tactics. We did lose a bulldog. Yeah, the second one over here. ATGM out. Aircraft ready? Yeah, we are ready for another strike. Okay, I think what we'll do then is... I believe we need to actually have this assigned over here, and then perhaps they will choose their own target. Ideally. Bound? Can you imagine an entire company of M60s coming towards you? You would not be happy. I mean, the AI has actually been quite smart here. They've actually placed multiple entrenched vehicles along their front line. So I'd imagine they're going for something along the lines of defense in depth. Would make the most sense. Oh boy. Yeah. Look at all those. I suppose we'll just keep advancing. We do still have more to support, so what I'm going to do is actually bring them to bear. Just in fire. So we're only down to illumination rounds now. Yeah, they have mortars might do it. I think what I'll do in the future is I should bring a few more mortars, perhaps. Mortars ready to fire. Fire for effect. Indeed, for the Emperor. This does just definitely show you how effective entrenched positions are. I mean, we are in the 1960s. Our technology isn't exactly fantastic. Our accuracy isn't fantastic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to speed things up. Okay, only a few seconds now until the air support arrives. Ooh, hello! We have enemy fixed-wing aircraft spotted. Right, here they are. What are we facing here? That is a MiG. Oh! Is that, a napalm strike? Yep, here we go. Quite glad I brought my self-propelled. I think we might be eating a MiG today. Our own aircraft are coming in. Oh wow, look at that. Missile out. Is that a hit? Indeed, napalm. Right over here, it seems they actually launched napalm against us. Well, that was actually pretty impressive. Air-to-air combat indeed. All these flames. An aircraft. Super sabers. Yes, there are some tutorials included in the game. Basically, single missions where you can learn. Nicely done. Ooh, napalm strike at last! Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. And that's taken out. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have them advance. I think massed tank tactics do work well for the Soviets. Maybe we should try it ourselves. Just look at the Soviet. God damn. That is rather impressive. There we go, taken down at long last. That is a good question regarding multiplayer. Ooh, here we go. Enemy fixed-wing aircraft coming in. And another one. Okay, I do need to move these guys further up, it seems. What is their range? It's in the APCs. That's not nice. Oh no. They did take out one of our actual armoured vehicles, and another one over here. And this is it, our self-propelled AA isn't that effective. I mean, air-to-air is probably a hell of a lot more effective. Hello, hello there, no owls are. Right, target destroyed. Okay, we do have PT-76 reconnaissance. We have an ATG platform over here, actually. Ooh, ammunition cooking off. Oh, wow. It popped off. Take fire. Right, so we have entrenched T-55s. Now, these are very difficult to handle. I think, I don't think there's actually an easy way of doing this. I'm hoping that our actual armor should be able to take the shots from the T-55s. Ideally, flanking shots should be able to end them. Okay, I do have to beg the question. Can I use my recon? Can I use my jeeps here? Way too much pyro. Not enough in my opinion. Okay, target taken down there. PT-76 down. I'd imagine they're fairly well suppressed here, considering the sheer amount of guns firing on them. Charge of the heavy brigade. Only 2 kilometers on the actual jeeps here. Right, again, here we go. Big swinging aircraft incoming. Yeah, get close, fast with the maximum amount of tanks. Good idea. Oh my. That was quite dangerous. The thing is that I actually targeted my SPAAs. Doing a very effective job at that as well. Okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to advance these bad boys forward. Try and keep some towards the front, some towards the rear here as well. More fixed-wing aircraft. Ouch. MiG-90s perhaps. Boy, look at that bombing run. Yeah. And we do have AA, it's just not very effective here. There's another one taken out. See, having a couple air supremacy jets on call would have been very nice. We have taken some losses over here. But we've taken another loss here, another M60 down. The lead M60 as well. Again, enemy fixed wing aircraft inbound. MiG-21's carrying napalm. Yes, the AI is definitely doing a good job here. Oh no. Jedi gonna feel this one. Oh no, the Jedi definitely gonna feel this one. Oh, that is real bad. Yeah, I don't think these men are gonna make it. Don't know about you. I'd imagine I'd be nervous too. Again, we're just not having any luck there, taking them out with the AI. Speed things up. Oh my god. And again, and again. AI has gone definitely very heavy in towards the X-Wings, my lord. Okay, I only have rocket pods here. Not the thing I really need. Look on our air support that we do have available. We did have, but those ones that we did have with the AA missiles are no longer available. Yes, they can't stop us on the ground, but we... Oh wow, my M60s have just been absolutely butchered over there. Infantry. Okay, destroyed at high cost. Have M60 down. Okay, let's unload our passengers. Oh, yeah. We did do some damage there. Just look at the sheer number, man. I think having some manpads would have been very effective. Fine, here we go. Our infantry is available. Okay, I do need them to advance. And more air power coming in. Oh my days. Yeah. I mean, we've been absolutely butchered here. But I think I'll bring the stream to a close here. So, honestly, I've enjoyed this. I really do think Armored Brigade is going to be a superb game. I do want you guys to forgive me for my terrible gameplay. I do apologise here. I've had some time to prepare, but not as much as I would have liked due to life circumstances, really. You know what, I've genuinely enjoyed this. I genuinely do look forward to the release, and I think it is going to be superb. Yes, we'll take a look at the statistics here. There we go. Results and draw. So what we'll do then is we'll take a look at the AAR mode. AAR mode. Battle. Yes. Okay, so we can see a draw here. Now we did lose 36 vehicles, they did lose 23. They did lose one aircraft, we lost 2. Now if we take a look at this. You'll see the fixed-wing aircraft coming in here over and over again. Indeed, we just see how M60s just get absolutely butchered by aircraft. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. So yes, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this. And you know what? It really has been a pleasure to play. The artwork is absolutely incredible. I'm sure this game will definitely shape up to be something worthwhile having in your Steam library. Assuming it will be on Steam. But definitely one to pick up. And really is something of a niche game. I can't say there's much really that approaches this. There are similar games as such combat mission, but I don't think there's actually something of this nature. So thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a hell of a blast. I apologise for my awful gameplay. I'm sure you guys will be able to do better. And you know what? I want you to do better. I want you to show me how well you can do. So until next time, thank you so very much. I hope you have enjoyed this. And thank you very much to Matrix Slytherin, as well as the developers here, for allowing me to do this today. Have a fantastic day, evening, night, morning, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Goodbye for now. I hope to see you all again in the future. Goodbye from us all.